Chapter 682. At this time, Lucas hurriedly stood up before he said, "Grandpa, the Adair family has already shared a friendship and connection with the Whale family for so many years. Please think twice before making a decision." Lucas really did not want to see the Adair family and the Whale family breaking all ties and connections with one another. After all, he was still hoping that he would be able to get Faria to marry into the Whale family. If the two families broke all ties with one another, then what he hoped for would never be possible. Lord Adair glanced at Lucas before he said lightly, "There's nothing left to think about. The Whale family is the top and most influential family in the South region, and the Adair family cannot afford this friendship. I declare that the Adair family will break off all ties and connections with the Whale family from this day onwards." Everyone at the scene was dumbfounded as soon as Lord Adair said those words. No one would have expected a fallout between the Whale family, which was the top family in the South region, and the Adair family, the top family in Orris Hill, at Lord Adair's birthday banquet today. It seemed as though there was going to be a huge change in Orris Hill in the future. Fury's cold gaze flickered across Lord Adair and Alex before he said angrily, "All right then. Lord Adair and Master Anderson, I'll definitely remember both of you. Just wait and see how I'm going to deal with you. Edward, let's go now." After that, Fury helped Edward up to his feet before they turned around to walk away. At this time, Alex said lightly, "Do you really think that this matter is over just like that?" Fury turned around to look at Alex with a murderous intent on his face as he asked, "What else do you want, Master Anderson?" Alex replied, "I broke your son's hand to teach him a lesson. However, since you smashed and destroyed Dr. Billy Clinic, you will still have to compensate him for his losses." After that, Alex continued speaking, "I will give you 3 days' time to pay up 10 times the compensation for the losses that you owe to Dr. Billy. I also want you to apologize to Dr. Billy and to beg for his forgiveness. If you fail to do so, I will make sure to break Edward's other hand too." As soon as Fury heard Alex's words, he glared at him with a cold and murderous expression on his face. He was very furious and he roared out loud, "Alex! Do you really think you're that great? Do you even know what position and status the Whale family enjoys in the whole South region? If you're going to continue provoking and challenging the Whale family, I'll make sure that you suffer a fate worse than death." Alex sneered before he said, "You can stop trying to threaten me. The Whale family means nothing to me at all. I'd advise you to get out of Orris Hill as soon as possible after you pay Dr. Billy the compensation you owe him. Otherwise, both you and your son are going to pay for this with your lives." "You!" Fury really did not expect Alex to be so brave. He had really wanted to kill Alex, but when he thought about Lord Adair's threat, he could only endure and subdue his anger temporarily. Fury already decided in his heart that Alex would have to die. However, it was not time to kill him yet. After he returns to South Haven, he would draw up a brand new plan. If it was not sufficient, he would gather a group of hitmen working for the Whale family to come and deal with Alex and the Adair family. As he thought about this, Fury waved his hand fiercely before he said, "Edward, let's go now." After that, he brought Edward, who had a broken hand, with him as they left the Adair family mansion in a very embarrassed state. Lucas stared at Fury's back as he left before he turned around to look at Faria and Lord Adair, who was already looking 10 years younger at this time. Lucas could not help but grit his teeth in anger as there was a very unwilling and frustrated look in his eyes. He had really suffered a great loss today. His grandfather, that old man, suddenly had another 10 years to live. Besides that, Alex had also given Faria all the credit for his action. What was even more important was the fact that his grandfather had actually broken off all connections and turned his back on the Whale family because of Alex. If this continued, Lucas was afraid that his grandfather would suddenly announce that Faria would become the next heir of the Adair family one day. If that happened, wouldn't all of his efforts be in vain?